No, see, you don't eat the good carrots, you get that carrot. Good morning, gardeners. I hope everybody's doing well today. It's very warm out. It's first week of April, and we're gonna try a new experiment today. I'm gonna try and plant tomatoes, but it's sideways. So why would I get it sideways, and what are the benefits of it? That's what we're gonna talk about today. And then if we have a little bit of time afterwards, we're gonna go around and get something to eat from the garden. Looks like there's a couple things ready. So let's go check this out. So just as we had discussed in another video, we're gonna plant the backside of this cattle panel first. And so we're gonna put the first tomato right here. Now, if you look, I just did this little mini raised bed back here, and it's not very deep. So I really probably can't plant my tomato as deep as I would like. So that's why we had to kind of resort to doing this plan. So this is an Honest Abe tomato. It's an indeterminate variety. So the plan and the goal is to get it to go up this cattle panel here. But as you can see, I mean, most people know that when you plant tomatoes, you want them to plant them as deep as possible. And I like to plant them, you know, all the way up to about right here. So if I did it on there, in this bed, I could probably only get it to about this deep. So we had to get it to grow sideways. And this was kind of an accident. I've had this happen before, but then I just kind of thought, like, why don't we let it go and see what happens, and then we can kind of do a test. So what happened is, you know, as the plants get bigger, they get top heavy, and it fell over. So I just left it on its side so it would grow. And as usual, they chase the sun. So it came up and out. And I've had some of them more pronounced where it goes straight up and then comes up. But we're gonna take this one for right now because this is the exact variety I wanted to put back here and just kind of see how it goes. We left it out like this for about 3 days. So it should work out pretty good for what we want to do, because you know, when you bury it, all the roots will come out along the stem, which will give it better drought resistance, a stronger plant, so on and so forth. So we want to give it that opportunity, but we just wanted to, you know, instead of physically bending the plant, we wanted to do it naturally. So we're just going to pull the leaf off, dig out our trench here. It's a little bit dry. We got a little bit of rain last night, but it should be all right. We want to try and get it as deep as possible. So you can see at this point how deep we are and how the plant's going to look. I think I'm going to do it this way. So let's dig this trench a little bit farther over, because I want to put 2 tomatoes on this 4-foot spacing. Considering that they're just going to go up, it should not be that much of an issue. And then, as usual, do the root check. So the roots are in perfect condition. They're not wrapping or anything like that, and they're really just getting nice and started. So we'll just plant this down far over as possible and cover her back up. But you can see now how much more of the stem we're going to get in here. Got some leftover black eyed pea vines from last year. We'll leave it in here for right now. What we have here, we'll come and take this out eventually. But for right now, until it gets nice and settled, we want to leave it as much ways to collect energy as possible. And then we'll clip this off, and then we'll just let it grow up as much as possible, as long as that thing right there doesn't get it. Sorry, you gonna eat my tomato? No, you're not gonna eat my tomato? Okay. So what we'll probably end up doing is, I don't have another one that's bent like this, but now that I've done it, I like the way it went into this particular bed. So we're probably gonna take another one and do the same thing for over here. And then we'll just have these 2 up here, and then we'll be able to trim them and single stem them as much as possible up this entire cattle panel. So last year, this bed back here didn't get watered as much as we'd like. Actually, it didn't get watered at all, really. We really struggled with water, but we put the drip line in there. So now what we're gonna do is we're simply just going to come back, and then we're gonna re-mulch it. And we're gonna put a thick layer of mulch on top of those tomato plants so that they can just continue to hold that moisture as much as possible. And then that'll eliminate cracking and stuff like that. But by getting more of that stem in the ground like that and those roots, it's gonna be more drought tolerant. So the one reason why I'm going to go pretty deep on the mulch though is just because I don't want it to be so close to the surface. So this will give it a little bit of buffer zone since we didn't have a whole lot of soil there. Now over the years, we'll continue to go deeper and deeper and work that soil more and more. And then we should have plenty of soil depth in there. I would like to ultimately go a little bit lower than the actual bed itself. So because it is only like 6 inches deep, I'd probably like to end up digging it about 2 inches deeper to get tomatoes and stuff. And even if this method does work, where it bends sideways and goes up, then we'd like to still get it a little bit deeper. And that way we can put a little bit bigger plants in there, especially for these indeterminate varieties. I know I'm not the first person to plant tomatoes sideways, but I've never tried it, never even really thought about it until I saw this method. So if you've ever tried anything like this or had any luck with it, definitely let us know in the comments below, because I'm curious to see what other people's experience are with planting tomatoes in different ways, especially like depth and sideways, even upside down. I know a lot of people do that stuff. I don't, but I know there are people that do. So let's look around the garden now and just see what we got maybe that we can get for some groceries. We should have a fair amount, I believe. And we've even got some things going to Bolt, which isn't necessarily bad, necessarily. So this cilantro here is going to Bolt pretty good. So I think we're just gonna leave it to collect the seeds for next year. But this one's not quite gone to Bolt yet. So we're gonna just get as much as we can before it starts, because it is not far off at this point. And I like to start little piles. So you can see that our spinach here is doing very well. So I think we're actually gonna get our first harvest of spinach. So it's the first time in a while that I've actually gotten a harvest of spinach. So, I mean, this isn't gonna be enough to like cook with, but we'll definitely put it in fresh salads and all that good stuff. I'm pretty happy about that. I don't know how long it's gonna grow here because of the, the heat that will be coming, but there's no point in letting it get any bigger than it has to. So we'll go through and we'll just harvest all this. Now I do have, I think this cabbage is just about done. So not a bad little cabbage. Little 18th century doorknob, and yeah, it is starting to split, so it is time to harvest this. So we'll have that. And then just a little shout out for our friend here, the ladybug. Welcome home, young lady. Glad to see them back. Maybe that means we'll have less pests this year. Now we've been growing this lettuce for a while, and I've been going through here and working out. A lot of times you'll get multiple seedlings, and typically what I do is I will start to split them and plant them about. But what I've done this year, instead of doing that, is I just plant them and then I come out and I've been harvesting and leaving the main head to actually head up. So we're just working through the line here. You can see we've got a couple here that are multiple plants put together. So we take those and then we come back, and like I did that last week, and then this one is really grown. So we should start to get, as we go through and work our way all the way down, we're gonna start getting full heads of lettuce coming through, so we can go just in order as we cut them. Like this one right here has got like 4 different heads in here, so we try and space them out. And I mean, we get these little heads, but they make all the difference in the world. It's food to eat, right? I mean, I'm not gonna complain. So I mean, at this point in the year, in the past couple weeks, we have not bought any vegetables at the grocery store for 3 weeks now, I think my wife said. Now this bok choy, we've been working our way in and out, and you can see now we're starting to get some full heads here, so pretty happy about that. It's coming very close to the end of the life cycle for them. So we also want to clear out some space here for some other stuff. So we'll start clipping more of these, making some room. I think we're gonna put our Desi squash in here, and we're about maybe a week out from planting our Desi squash. And then look at that, look at what we revealed. Our turnips are doing well since we did our trimming last time. So we're starting to get some. I think I'll give these maybe another week, and then we're gonna pull another set of them out If not, nope, we're not even gonna wait a week for some of them. It's a nice little turnip. Pretty, isn't it? Yeah. So it's crazy when the weather gets right, like some of this stuff sat dormant for so long, and then all of a sudden it's like, bam, it just starts growing, you know? And I mean, we may not get full-size stuff because we realize that the heat's gonna get it, but it's still pretty impressive to me. And our radishes are doing well. It seems like every couple days we're coming out and harvesting a few and a few more. And the more we pick, the bigger they get. So I mean, once you're not excited about eating them all the time, you can leave them a little bit longer and you actually end up getting bigger and bigger. It's my psychology moment for the day. So we just go through and pick what we can. We've been getting a nice little bundle about once or twice a week. And these will be really good baked. We like to bake these. Okay, so the question is, are there gonna be any carrots that are ready? We've been itching to get into our carrots. So let's take a quick peek. I think for right now, that's just about everything that we can harvest from here. There is actually one more thing after that, which I'll go over briefly, but let's check on these carrots. We've been waiting a long time for these. So I planted these carrots back in October. So they're starting to get good sun, the soil's warming up, and we have gotten a few out of here, but we're trying to check them about once a week right now. So like that one was deceiving. But the greens are starting to get, the tops are starting to get really big on them. So we're trying to come out, and even if we get baby carrots, it'll give space for the other ones to get bigger. So we're actually not gonna complain too much about that. And my son really likes the baby carrots. Because once it starts to get pretty warm, they are actually, that's about the size of these Scarlet Nanny's carrots gets. So you can't ask for anything better than that. But once it starts to get warm like this, they actually start to get a little woody and they can get kind of funky tasting. Not terrible, but not great either. So we pull them up. And I actually find a little bit of peace in coming out here and pulling up a couple at a time. Kind of searching through. I know that I'm making space for things to grow. You know, we're not gonna get, this is gonna be for munching. The next batch from here to here is all gonna be for canning. Another casualty here. So we're gonna get this guy. And this one's holding in pretty good, so hopefully we can get this in the next couple days before it starts to bolt. So we're on the way to clearing out this bed, which is gonna be very nice, because this is where the corn's gonna go. And then actually it is Tuesday, and I have a rule. Every Tuesday, I come out, no matter what, and I pick the flowers off my chamomile. So this is the first flush of flowers, which is good. So it'll keep it blooming, means more tea for me. And it's not a lot, but we just keep adding to it every week. And actually, since it is early, I'll probably come out again in another couple days when all these go, just to kind of keep it activated and get it going. And it looks like we have another cabbage here that we're gonna go ahead and get today. All right, we got a little help here to do this. All right, David, so what I want you to do is see these. These are radishes, and see the turnips?
Yeah.
I want you to pull them up and then take the greens off the back of them and just make a little pile right here.
So that's where you put the greens?
Yeah, put the leftover greens right there. Okay. From the carrots, radishes and the turnips.
Okay.
And don't step on my pile of spinach. That's that good stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't have to be super fancy about it.
Okay.
Just be quick. Yeah, you can bend them in half. Uh-oh, that one got a little funky. Let me see it. We'll give it to Shari Dog after we cut the bad part off. Make sure you make a nice neat pile so you can find it. No, see? You don't eat the good carrots. You get that carrot. That's Shari's favorite time of day, isn't it?
Yep.
Let me give you a pro tip.
Yeah.
Pick them all up at once and get all the carrots in your hand, and then just twist the tops off.
Okay.
Bend it while you do it. There you go. There you go. Isn't that easier?
Yeah.
Takes a little bit more muscle, but you'll be all right. She's gonna take your finger off trying to get the carrot, man. That's enough, sorry dog. No more. Now do the radishes.
Okay. Oh.
There you go. That's good chicken food. All right, now get the tote. Cabbage is in the bottom. Yep. And then put the lettuce in the bottom.
Is that stuff?
No, that's spinach.
So, this,
You know what lettuce looks like. It's like in your salad.
this stuff.
Yep, just put it right in the bottom. Now put the bok choy in.
Wait, this stuff.
Yep. Another bok choy. Now put the spinach in. And the cilantro. No, don't throw the cilantro. What you talking about? That's some tacos, man. Yeah, just drop it all in there. It's fine. We'll sort it out. That'll turn their yolks nice and orange.
Can you please open the gate for me?
Yeah, of course I will. That's why I'm here.
Just lay this stuff down, right?
You can just throw it right there in between the water and the food bucket.
Okay.
Watch, they're gonna act all dumb.
I like throwing it on the chickens.
They like it.
The black one eats it for sure.
Yeah, she does. Look at them.
Look a fluffy face.
Yeah.
That was gonna be our Easter egger.
Yeah, well, she ain't. She's just fluffy face. Cool. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Am I allowed to go back out and play with my friends?
Yeah. Of course.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.